Hi everyone, welcome to Games of the Week for the 1st of August 2016. Actually on time on a Monday, I didn't think I'd manage it. So this week on the channel there is a playthrough for Mystic Vale. That's a new card crafting game where you're going to start off with a deck of 20 mostly empty cards in card sleeves, and then you've got these kind of clear cards with a little section that give you a little bonus that you're going to slot into these sleeves, and from blank cards you're going to end up with super cards that are earning you tons of points and getting you loads of different bonuses. It's really fun and a really interesting new concept, and I'm looking forward to, there's a game teased in the back of the manual that's going to use this card crafting system in future. I'm really looking forward to that. That's Mystic Vale. There's Orleans Invasion, the second solo scenario, Capital Vierzon, and I was asked to do some more Orleans, and I'm happy to do that. It's a really fun solo game, and this second scenario is definitely a lot more challenging than the first one, and you can see how I get on in the video, and there'll be more Orleans in the future as well. And if there's anything that you'd like me to do in particular, or wonder if I'm doing it, then feel free to drop me a message or a comment, and I'll be happy to do, well, any game that I've got, especially. The networks, the review of the networks went up, and spoilers on that, it's great. So game news, this week we've got Haven from Alf Siegert. It's a two-player game. One person plays the forest creatures trying to wake the spirits to protect the forest. The other plays the city trying to master the forest with metal and machinery. And it's a two-player game. He said in the forums it's a distant cousin to Battle Line, which looked like an interesting game, and it's a great theme, a great designer. The only thing that I'm a little worried about is he mentioned in the forums that it's going to feature a lot more direct conflict than Euro games usually feature. So that might not be something for me, but if that's something that you don't mind about, then Alf Siegert games are fantastic. I know that there's Road to Canterbury somewhere behind me here. There's Fantastica, there's Dingo's Dreams, all sorts of amazing games, and I'm sure Haven will be as well. Next, there's Roundhouse from Eros Lin, and I thought when I clicked on the page that I recognised that name. That's one of the designers of Burano, that should also be behind me somewhere. Fantastic heavy game from last Essen, where you build up this city made of cubes and do all sorts of actions. Fantastic game, but enough about Burano. This is about Roundhouse, and these were from the Ming Dynasty in China. These were these round multi-floor earth buildings that housed clans and functioned like a village. And so in this game, we are the heads of families, and we will be doing certain actions, sending people away to go on adventures, get goods, sell goods, get powers, worship the gods, and all sorts of things. And it sounds like it's using a rondel mechanism. I think it mentioned you're going to be going around this roundhouse in one direction. There's not much information about it yet, but based on the pedigree of Burano, then it's definitely something to look out for. Next, and I'm not sure if this was announced recently, I just noticed it this week, Defense Grid, the board game. Now, I was a big fan of the video game, a tower defense game, and this is a cooperative deck building tower defense game with more than 10 missions and 6 AI characters that will be upgraded over the course of the game. And that sounds fantastic, and as I said, I was a big fan of the game, and I can't wait for more information about Defense Grid, the board game. And finally, I had Key to the City London from Sebastian Bleasdale and Richard Breeze, and this is going to be a game that bears similarities to Keyflower, which is a hugely popular game from them, and it's going to feature players developing their own borough of London by using large hexagonal tiles like in Keyflower. So look out for more information from that one soon. Some of these there aren't even pictures for yet. And as for what I played this week, well, it was a little bit of a quiet week. I had to go away last weekend, even though there was a video up. It was pre-recorded. And so this week I just played Shakespeare Backstage, which is a little expansion. I can't find it to hand at the moment, but it's like a little deck of playing cards size, and it adds some extra objectives, some extra actors to Shakespeare, and it also adds this backstage area, which is a use for when in Shakespeare you bid for how many actions you're going to do in a turn, and the person who bids the fewest gets to go first, but obviously does less actions. And now the things that you don't bid will now get used on these new backstage actions. So it adds a whole new dimension to the bidding, and there's going to be a video coming up on Shakespeare Backstage shortly. And also, we went back to Amerigo this week, and although it's an old game, it's not new to me. I haven't played it for ages and ages, and just forgot how much I enjoyed this game. I love a lot of Stefan Feld games. They're just too high off on the camera here. But Amerigo is fantastic. I love the tower, and I think I need to remember what that game was. There was a game that's going to be using that tower mechanic as a kind of dungeon crawl. but heck, I thought I'd just mention Amerigo. So that's it for Games of the Week this week. Look out for the next one next Monday, and there'll also be, in addition to the playthroughs and everything else this week, there'll be a special Gen Con video going up tomorrow or Wednesday, where I'll talk about my top 10 games that are coming out at Gen Con. So that's it for now. Bye, everyone.